Solution with the super chat says, please educate me on Nas' ownership of Jay's publishing in regard to dead presidents. Did you see that clip where
Oh yes.
Well, it sounds like, according to MC Serch, is the fact that, they needed to go through, forgot who exactly they needed to go through to get it cleared, but Serch was the gateway to that. He told Jay and them that it would be $2,500 to do that. They did it, but the negotiation that I guess Serch worked out was, yes, you actually were able to use this sample, but Nas owns 50% of the song Dead Presidents. That's what Serch said. It actually makes sense. At the end of the day, listen, if I use Marvin Gaye, let's just say like Eric Sermon's music, right, with Marvin Gaye, I'm pretty sure in the negotiations for him to be able to use that, because that's a big part of the song, with the hook, everything, the Marvin Gaye estate was probably like, listen, we need 50, 75% of this song or whatever. You know what I mean? Who knows? I don't know the number, but that makes sense. The person whose vocals are being used is the one normally that actually has that part ownership in the record too.
Well, here's why it makes sense, just fundamentally, like on an artist level too. When this record is being made, well, Nas is not made. If I Rule the World and Street Dreams haven't been released yet, neither is It Was Written, and he's not double, triple platinum yet. And so The World Is Yours, at that point, was still his biggest record that he had released. And arguably, in a lot of people's mind at the time, probably like a top 25 to 50 hip-hop song all time already in 1996. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wasn't sampling a regular hip-hop song, even though it had only been 2 years removed from it actually being released for the public.
Well, you've heard Ski talk about how that beat came about, right?
What?
How the Dead President beat came about. Well, he said, everybody was bumping The World Is Yours or whatever. He made the beat around those vocals, and Jay heard it with the vocals in there, and he just told, it was like, yo, keep it. And that's how it happened. And so it was already kind of in the song. And I think that maybe the first thing to do, and I don't know this part, but maybe the first thing to do is to be like, yo, let's reach out to Nas, see if we can get him on it. And maybe if that didn't work, then it was like, okay, well, let's just get the sample cleared.
It's Mike, just for me, it's one of the few hip-hop songs, and when you're younger, it kind of hits you different, but it's one of those few songs that I heard, like, early on that just, like, kind of, like, floored me the first time that I heard it.
It's still my favorite. I think it's my favorite or second favorite Jay-Z record, and mostly because of the tone and the way he's rhyming on there,
It's up there. I was like, because, like...
you don't know, and that one are my two favorites.
The World Is Yours was the song that made me want to rap. And so, like, to hear him take the hook and then make something, like, comparable, caliber-wise.
And Dead Presidents is just, everything that Jay, is about, but especially in that era. And everything that he was saying on there from part 1 to part 2, like I want money like Cosby, who wouldn't? It's that kind of talk to make me think you probably ain't got no pudding. Niggas had kind of dreams in jail. Like, he was able to articulate everything that was going on from that whole concept of money, Dead President. So it was a perfect marriage.
Well, here's the thing.
And I'm glad they got it cleared. And I think that he was able to tailor his verses conceptually around that hook. So they honestly had no choice but to go clear it. I'm telling you this, as an artist, if I was Jay, I would have got it cleared. If he wanted 50% of the publishing on it, sure. This is the concept for the record. The record doesn't sound the same without that in it. You know what I mean? Like, what's the hook gonna be?
It doesn't. Well, here's the thing. We're speaking to a couple things. It's like, first of all, Jay's hook game ain't never been like that. You see evidence of it right there, because it's like some of his best stuff is a riff, or when he's just talking shit. Look at Streets is Watching, Imaginary Player, 1,000,001 Questions, Dead Presidents, Feeling It, Can I Live? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't no nigga. I do think that his best hook comes from that era, though, and I think it's the Foxy Brown record. Straight out the gate, y'all, we drop hits. Tell me, how nasty can you get all the way from the hood to your neck of the woods? It's real, but then the sample comes in, though.
Right.
To finish it off.
No, so he's a great. He, I'm saying this respectfully. He's great at riffing off of other people. But Dead Presidents is his greatest riff because here's the thing. Jay's that's a money song. That's money talk.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay had more money than most of these rappers. Right. So it's like giving him a money talk song and flipping it with a song that was a hip hop classic, where the guy's talking money talk before the verse is over. Oh no. That was perfect for somebody like Jay to slide in and take it and like really like grab it. Like he's the guy for that. Don't get it twisted. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he the guy for that. Like,
but
for
from
that
a business standpoint,
like, want to take the Nas shit and make it like a money talk song? Oh no, Jay's that guy. Yeah.
But the thing is, Coop, from a business standpoint, you got to clear that sample. You got to do what you got to do to get that sample cleared.
Well,
So if the negotiations is like, look, Nas wants 50% of the publishing, what you gonna say? No.
I mean, you want to know
You
what?
know what I mean? Like, what you gonna
What I
say?
really thought about when Serch said that, I was like, what if that would have made it in the ether?
Yeah.
Right. Think about that. Think about
I feel like it should have.
Right, like would have inserted somewhere. It's like I own half of your best song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Eric Terrell with the super chat says, "Do you care about critics when you heard when you first heard Big? I mean, we just care about the feel. You know what? This is the thing with the critics and the critiques. We want people to get their proper due." Eric Terrell says, "Did you care about critics when you first heard Big?"
You see, you're talking about first heard versus somebody 30 years in the game. So we're talking legacy versus like breakthrough.
Yeah.
So not a fair comparison, but I get what you're trying to say. And no, like I think I did still care. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, we used to rush to the stands to get the Source magazine, and if they gave ATLians 4 mics, even the 4.5, the Southern Playlistic guy, it was like, yo, this is some bullshit. Yeah, so we've always been talking like this. Hassan Sykes with the super chat says, Miss LB asks, does KD3 change your music palette in terms of listening to other hip hop albums? I think it does change the curve a little bit. I mean, it did that for us with the Black Star album because we said Black Star was fire.
Right. It's like you want to know what it is, and this is what I mean about the Black empowerment message and the content of it. It's like, oh yeah. Like, okay, and this is what I mean. Show me the empowering themes on Black Thought in the Black Star album. Like, I know they're empowering brothers. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. But show me where thematically, like, you can go look at it, where you can go give me some of the bar work, where it's like something that truly is like trying to uplift. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Legit. Don't shoot. There are whole songs dedicated to it. Beef. No, listen, even when you listen to WTF SMH, that's the one where he says, why you ain't proud of Nas? Like, that's the one where he's unpacking the whole thing about how he's, like, literally helping this community and giving jobs to people. And people are still running around here and doing stuff like this and taking the rating down and taking it and trying to take his status and his legacy down.
Right. Playing games, man.
Empowering things. And this is what I mean about how it's empowering, too. He's actually speaking about the things that have helped, the forces that have tried to hold him back. And now he's kept on going in spite of it. That's part of the empowering message.
Yeah, you're right.
Remember the Pete Rock shit on Fun, where he's like, now I wonder if all the good shit that I did is hidden by the agenda. Like he literally telling you, it's like, no, I feel like there's an agenda against me too. I know these motherfuckers are against me, but I'm going to keep on going. You should keep on going. How is that not empowering?
You're right. Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says,
empowering parts of this album, Mike. It's crazy.
You know, I'm going to get to the super chat and I'm going to piggyback on that. Jermaine Johnson says, Mike, if you haven't already done so, check out Killer Mike's new single, Talking That Shit, a banger produced by DJ Paul. Right up your alley. I'm sure that's crazy. Paul never fails. I got to check that out. What I was going to say, though, and I've heard Andre from Outkast say this, and I believe him wholeheartedly. He says that Outkast was always kind of up against the wall, and they made their best music under pressure. And I think when they got universally accepted, it was almost like, okay, well, what do we do next? And I feel like Jay-Z is slightly in that space too, because like he said, man, like the whole industry can hate me. I thug my way through. And when it's no longer like that,
When
how
you are the
edgy,
industry,
you
when you
don't
become
have
part
your
of
edge anymore. You know what I
when you
mean?
become
Like,
the sponsorship for the machine.
yeah, it's like when you don't have that edge anymore where people are already ready to kind of come at you, it's like things change. And I think that's still the difference between the two MCs in that sense. And I hate to again pair them up, but again, there are only people that live in this universe. They're like Superman and Black Adam or whatever. But anyway,
Okay, so
but yeah, I just feel like I think that the adulation at this point that Jay continuously gets, and like you said, if that quote was said by Jay, it'd be everywhere. I think it's affect the overall product because he's made his best material under pressure when they were calling him misogynist, calling him this and that. I mean, look at the way he performed on the Blueprint 2 after Ether.
no, I get all those things. I don't want to go too far away. I want to actually discuss something right quick because here's one of the things that I realized, and we're going to get to our top 10 list momentarily, I'm sure.